The story begins with Gaur, a man living on a desolate desert planet. His young daughter's condition is deteriorating. With no food or water available, everyone living with Gaur is slowly dying, and now his daughter is also suffering from hunger and thirst. Gaur and his entire family plead with the gods for help, but receive no response. Ultimately, all their hopes are dashed. Gaur's daughter dies in his arms. Her death leaves Gaur devastated. Then one day, Gaur discovers a lush green land, a far cry from his once happy planet. Arriving there, he discovers a black sword called the Necro Shot. In the same place, he sees a powerful, radiant deity leisurely eating fruit. And he is happy in his own world. Gaur tells his story of how his planet was struck by drought, how all the people died one by one, and how his daughter also died. Despite this, he has faith and thinks he will attain salvation, but God mocks him and says that people like him are useless and there is no salvation for them. Not only that, he also reveals that this was all a ruse to expose the sword's true owner. Hearing this, Gaur is heartbroken and realizes that the gods he worshipped are actually selfish and cruel. Enraged, Gaur breaks the rosary symbolizing the god and goes on a rampage. The god attempts to attack him, but by then, Gaur has completely possessed the sword. As the sword's dark power grows, he begins to hear strange voices and see visions that convince him that all gods are evil and must be destroyed. The sword promises him even greater power, and Gaur trusts it completely. Gaur then kills that very god and vows to destroy all the gods one by one. But he realized that these gods didn't help people, but were preoccupied with their own pleasures. The story then shifts to Thor, where Garg is telling the story of Thor to some children. He explains that Thor has been a warrior since childhood and has witnessed many battles with his parents. Growing up, Thor fought and won countless battles. He breaks down, becomes mentally unstable, and begins binge eating to cope, causing him to gain significant weight. However, after Endgame, he transforms again and joins the Guardians of the Galaxy. While he embraces his new identity, keeps himself fit, and undertakes numerous missions with them, Thor still cannot completely let go of his past pain. So he tries to meditate and find peace by staying away from the battle for a few days. But the Guardians struggle to fight in his absence. Just then, a member of his team approaches Thor and says, "We cannot win this war without you." Hearing this, Thor recomposes himself, picks up his weapon Stormbreaker, and immediately rushes to the battlefield. While his team battles a strange creature, it imprisons the people in a mysterious temple. Then, the planet's king arrives, escalating the situation. Thor is accompanied by his companions, who are overjoyed to see him and immediately call for help. Wasting no time, Thor picks up his weapon and dives straight into the battlefield. Using his strength and experience, he single-handedly defeats the demons and wins the battle in a matter of moments. Seeing this, everyone present erupts in joy and chants Thor's name. His story on Earth is found in a book, where it is shown that Jane Vrotdari is hospitalized. Jane is currently recovering from a serious illness, cancer. Her cancer has reached a critical stage. Dr. Sasa has told her that she doesn't have much time left. Meanwhile, a friend visits her and tells her that in her final days, she should meet her last love, Thor. But she should ignore it and ignore it. One day, while reading a book, Jaina learns that the supernatural powers of Thor's weapon can cure any disease. This awakens a ray of hope in Jaina, and she resolves to find the weapon. Jaina arrives at New Asgard, where everything has changed. The place has now become a tourist destination, attracting visitors from all over the world. This is all thanks to Valkyrie, who has become the new queen of Asgard. Once Jaina arrives, Thor's decision to appoint her as the new queen proves to be correct. She discovers a spot where the broken pieces of the mural lie. A special place has been set up there for people to come to see them. As Jane approaches the spot, the broken pieces of the mural begin to glow faintly. Meanwhile, Thor, displeased with his victory, takes 2 large goats as a reward from the local king. When he arrives at Guardian Space with the goats, they begin making a lot of noise, disturbing everyone. Meanwhile, messages begin arriving from various locations, revealing that various gods are being brutally murdered on several planets. These events are occurring simultaneously in different locations. He discovers that a powerful enemy is behind all this. Hearing this news, Thor understands the situation is very serious and immediately separates from his team to try to get to the root of the threat. With the help of Stormbreaker, he travels from place to place helping people. During this time, he arrives on a planet already devastated. Upon arriving, he discovers that the planet's god is dead. There's devastation all around, and no one is alive in sight. Just then, Thor spots an injured man and immediately runs to him. He sees that one of the man's arms is completely severed, and he's barely alive. The injured man tries to tell Thor about the incident, but his condition is so bad that he can't even speak properly. Thor asks the injured man. The man, barely able to speak, explained that a dangerous man named Gorr was hunting the gods of the Bairagi tribe and possessed a dangerous weapon called the Necroshod, which gave him the power to kill gods. Hearing this, Thor understood the gravity of the threat. Gorr was currently heading towards New Asgard. Hearing this, Thor immediately decided to go there with his companions. With the help of Stonebreaker, he reaches New Asgard. Upon reaching New Asgard, he sees chaos everywhere. Valkyrie and Korr are fighting a strange creature sent by Gorr in a terrible darkness. As soon as Thor arrives there, he also joins them and starts fighting the creature. During the fight, Thor suddenly sees that his broken Mjolnir has been repaired, and someone is controlling it. The hammer is destroying the creatures sent by Gorr. Thor is stunned by this, as Mjolnir had broken before. He looks closely and sees that the one holding Mjolnir is none other than Jane Foster. He is completely astonished by the sight and cannot understand how this is possible. He approaches her and asks how this happened, but Jane is also completely confused. She says that now is not the time for all this, that they must first deal with the dangers. Just then, Gorr appears, and Thor immediately charges toward him. A fierce battle ensues between the two. Gorr uses his dark powers, which Thor finds extremely difficult to counter. Thor attacks Gorr with all his might, but Gorr escapes. Although this was his plan, before leaving, he kidnaps all the children of New Asgarden. When people discover their children have disappeared, they panic. There's chaos. All the parents are panicked and worried. Valkyrie tries to comfort them and reassure them that their children will return. Afterward, Thor, Jaina, and Valkyrie Kaur formulate a plan to find Gorr and rescue the children. They discover that Gorr has taken the children to a part of the universe called the Shadow Realm, where his power is even greater. Thor and his team decide that they need more power to confront Gorr. To do this, they plan to go to the Almighty City, where all the powerful gods reside. They believe that if Hugh, the most powerful god there, helps them, defeating Gorr will be easier. After this, they all set off together in their spaceship. Along the way, a funny scene occurs between Thor and Stormbreaker, where it seems this Stonebreaker becomes jealous of Mjolnir because Thor repeatedly focuses on Mjolnir. Eventually, they all arrive at the City of Almighty, where Zook is performing with the other gods. But when Thor and his team explain the threat of Gorr, Zook begins to convince the other gods that Gorr is constantly killing gods, so it is very important to stop him, and therefore their help is needed. But Zeus and the other gods flatly refuse to help. They say that defeating Gorr would be unfair because he possesses the Necrosode, which can kill any god. Zeus says that Gorr can never reach the Infinite Realm because it is located at the end of the universe and is not easy to reach. He orders that no god should go there and everyone will be safe there. Thor becomes very angry after hearing Zeus's words. He realizes that these gods are not as great as he thought, but are busy saving their own lives. An angry Thor tells Zeus, "You are not what I thought. You just hide in your palace and live in fear." Hearing this, Zeus becomes enraged and orders his troops to attack. Zeus attacks Thor with all his might. In response, Thor also retaliates with all his might and is eventually wounded by Zeus's weapon, the Thunderbolt. The situation then escalates into chaos. Thor and his companions attempt to escape. Kirk is severely injured and his body is severely fractured, but his head remains intact, and he manages to escape with it. He also takes Zeus's Thunderbolt with him to use in future battles. Thor then speaks to the children kidnapped by Gira. He comforts them, telling them there's nothing to fear and that he'll be back soon. Meanwhile, Thor and his team realize that facing Gira alone won't be easy, but now they have Zeus's sword, Thunderbolt, which gives them some hope. They then decide to head to the Shadow Realm together. With Stormbreaker's help, they prepare to reach Gorr's hiding place. Meanwhile, a wonderful and emotional scene is shown in which Stormbreaker acts as if he is jealous of Thor because Thor repeatedly focuses on Mjolnir. Thor calms him down and explains that no matter what happens, it will always be his special weapon. Meanwhile, Jaina arrives. Seeing her, Thor pours out his heart. He explains how lonely he has become since being separated from Jaina, and she's never found true happiness. He says he doesn't want to lose her again and wants to spend the rest of his life with her. Zane becomes emotional and tells him the truth. She says that when they separated, her life became very difficult, and when she learned she had stage 4 cancer, her world was turned upside down. She says she doesn't have much time left and wants to spend the rest of her life fighting. They didn't give up, but the misunderstandings between them remained. Once all the misunderstandings were cleared up, Thor and Jaina reunited. They became emotional and grew close. Just then, Valkyrie arrived and told them they had arrived on Gorr's dark planet, the Shadow Realm. Due to the dark forces of that place, the entire atmosphere had turned pitch black and white. Afterward, they all landed and arrived at the place where Gorr had kept the kidnapped children. But when they get inside, they find no one there. Seeing the internet symbol on the wall, Jane realizes Gorr's true plan. She tells Arth and the others that he wants to use Stormbreaker to open the internet. If he succeeds, he will be unstoppable. Suddenly, Gorr arrives. Using his dark powers, he captures Jane and everyone inside the house and attempts to mentally break them. He tries to weaken everyone by scaring them one by one, but no one listens to him. Then, Gorr approaches Thor and attempts to inflict further damage on him. Knowing that Thor's greatest weakness is Jane, he targets Jane and injures him. Seeing Jane in such a state, Thor is unable to resist. He gathers all his strength and unleashes a powerful lightning strike. With the lightning strike, everyone is freed from Gorr's dark powers. Thor then attacks Gorr with his companions. Jaina also attacks with Mjolnir. Together, the three confront Gorr, and a fierce battle ensues. During the battle, Gorr displays his full strength and often overpowers them. When Valkyrie attempts to attack Gorr, Thor strikes him with a thunderbolt, escalating the situation. Thor realizes that if nothing is done now, nothing will happen. Meanwhile, Gorr, with Stormbreaker's help, succeeds in opening a portal to the internet. He reaches a place where one of his wishes can be fulfilled. Meanwhile, Jaina's condition worsens as the power of Mjolnir takes its toll on her body. She continues to undergo treatment, and doctors inform her that the cancer in her body is spreading rapidly. The use of Mjolnir is weakening her body even further, leaving her with little time left. Thor is devastated by this, and Jaina accepts it. Jaina says, "Don't try to save me by staying with me, but act like a hero. If I can fight, you can too, dear." She tries to convince him that she can't let this weakness stop her, but wants to fight until her last breath. Thor becomes emotional and says, "You are my life and I can't live without you." But in the final moments, he agrees with Jaina. Jaina makes him promise to return after saving the children. Thor then meets Valkyrie, who gives him Zeus' Thunderbolt, but she doesn't go with him because she's injured. Thor sets out to rescue the children. Meanwhile, Gorr is trying to open the gate to the internet with Stormbreaker. At the same time, a large boulder is about to fall on the children. But Thor arrives in time to save the children. He is injured, but the children survive. The children calm down, but dark creatures sent by Gorr begin to advance toward them to take control of the situation, and Thor makes a crucial decision. He grants the children the power to harness the powers of Zeus's Thunderbolt to protect themselves. All the children begin to fight against the darkness, though they are terrified, but Thor's power gives them courage. A great and dangerous battle ensues. Meanwhile, Jaina arrives. She has felt Thor's voice and pain, so she cannot resist and steps forward to fight one last time. Thor is shocked to see her, as using Mjolnir could quickly kill him, but Jaina refuses, saying there's no turning back. Together, they confront Gorr. During the fight, Jaina tries to stop Gorr, telling Thor that he must close the door at all costs. As if the Inter-Unity key opens it, Gorr will be impossible to stop. Thor uses all his strength but manages to push her back, but by then, the door to interconnection had opened. Seeing this, Thor, using Stormbreaker, transferred his power to all the children. The children briefly fought against his power. Thor attempted to block it with Zeus's Thunderbolt. Seeing an opportunity, Jaina attacked Necrosod with Mjolnir and shattered it. As the sword shattered, its dark power vanished. However, doing so weakened Jaina greatly, as Mjolnir's power was slowly destroying her body. Meanwhile, Gorr manages to reach the inn's door and goes inside. Just then, Thor and Jaina arrive, but Jaina's condition has deteriorated so much that she can barely stand. Thor stops Gorr and realizes that the only way to stop him is through persuasion. Thor tells him, "You don't really want death, you just want your daughter back. Revenge will never bring you peace, but only love can." After hearing Thor's words, Gorr's inner pain comes to the surface. He begins to remember his daughter, and his anger gradually subsides. Eventually, Gorr abandons his intentions of revenge and asks Eternity to restore his daughter to life. Eternity grants his wish, and his daughter returns to life. But Gorr himself suffers under the influence of the Necrosod's dark power, as the price for using the sword is his life. Before dying, Gorr begs Thor to take care of his daughter. Thor promises to raise her as his own. Meanwhile, Jaina's condition worsens, and he rushes to her side, where she breathes her last in his arms. Jaina's death leaves Thor devastated, but he pulls himself together and takes Jaina's daughter with him. We then see a massive statue of Jaina in New Asgard, commemorating her bravery and sacrifice. Now Thor begins a new life with Gorr's daughter, Love. He teaches her good values and helps people. Together, they fight evil and work as a new team. Meanwhile, Zeus survives and, enraged, sends his son to kill Thor. This is where the story ends.